Let's chat about why you can't achieve your goals. It's not because you're stupid, it's not because you're not smart enough or you don't know enough or because your brain is broken or because there's something wrong with you. It is not because of any of those reasons. The three reasons that I'm going to share with you today are things that you can actively change in your life. These are things that you can work on and take action on. Any one of us are capable of achieving our goals. We're all capable of achieving our goals. But these three common mistakes I often see hold a lot of us back. And so I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's dive into it. Reason number one is because you have zero plan. And when I talk about plan, I'm talking about the action steps that are gonna actually take you there to meet your goals. For a lot of us, when we set out goals to achieve, we have a couple of these action steps in our mind, but there's no actual proper plan in place to make sure that we consistently achieve these action steps and are able to keep up with them no matter what is happening in our life. A big thing that also holds a lot of people back when it comes to achieving their goals is not even knowing if their action steps are going to be the steps that are going to actually help them achieve your goals. And to be honest with you, sometimes you can't be sure until you actually try things out. I remember when I first started my business, and of course, we can turn to other people and mentors for guidance and people who have done some of the things that we are trying to do and use their action steps to determine if they're going to work for us. But that doesn't guarantee and mean that it will necessarily work for us. And sometimes the only way to know is to do and to try. I remember when I first started my business, I was trying everything. I was posting on social media. I was doing Facebook ads. I was running Google ads. I was doing workshops and trying to connect with people in the community. I was just trying everything out. And it's through this trial and error that I started to see what was working for me and what wasn't working for me. And sometimes it can be beneficial to try a couple of these steps out to see what works. And then when you find what works, you can kind of hone down and stick to the 2 to 3 that does. Other way that you can do it, which is usually the way that I recommend it, because for some of us, when we set out to achieve goals and then we write all these action steps to do, we don't give them long enough to actually see if these action steps are going to work or not. So for example, if you are trying to lose weight, something that you could do is you can tell yourself, okay, I'm going to walk 10,000 steps every day. I am going to stop eating after 8 o'clock and I'm only going to eat out once a week. And these are the 3 action steps that I'm going to do for the next 3 months. And honestly, doing them quarterly is great. And then you do them for the next 3 months and then you can see, did you lose as much weight as you wanted to? What action steps do you need to switch up or change out? Or maybe you need to add more things and continue doing these things that you have so that you can maybe get more faster and bigger and better results. And so when it comes to these action steps too in this plan, you need to be really, really specific about it. So for example, I am not gonna just tell myself I'm gonna walk 10,000 steps every day. That's not a plan. A plan is telling yourself, I'm going to walk, 3,500 steps from 9 to 9:30, then another 3,500 steps from 3 to 3:30, and then another 3,500 steps from 8 to 8:30. That is a proper plan in place. You've given that action step a time and place that you're going to do it and get it done. This is what you call a proper plan. You can't just willy-nilly in your mind think of these things and hope and pray and cross your fingers that you're going to end up making these things happen and be consistent with it. This is actually what causes a lot of people to be inconsistent with your goals, is because they are not specific enough with their action steps. So you need to get specific. Write these things down. Don't just keep them up in your mind because it's not going to happen. No great plan that is executed was kept in someone's mind. All great plans that were executed were written down in as much detail as possible. They were scheduled out so that the person can be consistent with the action steps required to meet the goal. If you don't take the time to plan out your action steps, they're just not getting done. The amount of people that come to me and tell me that they haven't achieved their goals, and then I'm like, what's your plan? And they're like, I told myself I was going to do this, this, and this, and I was like, okay, fantastic. So you're not really able to do any of it. Every single Sunday, I sit down and I look at my whole week and look at when I'm going to plan my things out. And then the 10 minutes at the end of a day, I plan out the next day. And I look at the action steps that I need to do in order to achieve my goals. And I look at where can I implement these action steps so that I can actually get my goals done, so I can actually complete them. For a lot of us, it's not your goal is too big for you, too big, and you're not capable of achieving it. You just don't have the proper plan to get there. And you're not willing to be flexible enough with your plan and change up and adjust your action steps so that you can meet your goal at the end of the day. So stop trying to move forward in life without a plan. If you have no plan in life, you're going to get sucked up and lost in the chaos of life. And then you're going to wake up one day when you're 80 years old and you're going to be like, what was that? What the heck was that? I didn't get a chance to do da-da-da-da. And of course you didn't get the chance to do it because you never planned it out. So start taking your life seriously, start taking your time seriously, and start planning things out. We live in such a chaotic, hectic world in life that if you are not planning things out, you will not get anywhere in life. You will definitely not achieve your goals, and you will honestly live in a lot of resentment, a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, and you will always feel awful about yourself because you haven't actually built any proper plan in place to help you meet and achieve your goals. Reason number 2 as to why you fail to achieve your goals is because you suck at saying no. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I watched this little trailer ad video. It was Elon Musk's ex-wife, and I watched a couple of seconds of it, and she was just talking about how he was such a peculiar man, and one of the things that she really strongly remembers about him is just how good he was at saying no to people and how good he was at protecting his time and energy from other people. And I want to ask you, how good are you at that? Do you say yes to every hangout as soon as someone asks you? Do you just come home and just sloth around and watch TV or play video games at night? Like, are you even taking your time seriously? And look at what are the people, the events, and the things that you are saying yes to. And do these things really align with your long-term goals? And this doesn't mean you can't ever have fun or be around friends, but I'm just talking to you about most of the time what is sucking away that energy of yours that could be better used towards your goals. Because a lot of us are saying yes to all the wrong things, and then we wake up the next day and we're like, wow, that was a waste of time. I wish I spent that working towards my goals. And even though you have that awareness, what ends up happening is that you find yourself in that cycle again because you lack the ability to say no. This is something that I have honestly struggled with for a very long time, and to this day I still have to really be mindful of what and who I say yes to. I've started to take my time and my energy more seriously than I ever have before, and I try to be really mindful of who I say yes to now. But before, I really struggled with it because I would just constantly people please. I just felt so bad saying no to the other person that I was willing to sacrifice my time. I was willing to sacrifice my energy. I was willing to sacrifice literally parts of my being just so the other person wouldn't feel bad. And I feel like I'm probably 95% better with it now because I'm very much at this place of just like, I just want to do me, seriously. I have big goals that I want to achieve, and I will say no if I need to. I think it's also just so wild that we're just so concerned with other people's expectations of us that we will literally sacrifice our time, our energy, and just everything for them. And the sad part about this is that we end up living a life that isn't even authentic to us at the end of the day. We end up living a life that is authentic to someone else and what they want. We sacrifice ourselves, our being, and what's important to us for other people, just so they see us as good, just so they like us. But you know what? Honestly, if you liked and loved yourself just a little bit more, you wouldn't give a flying crap if Nancy down the street liked you or not, because you just love yourself so much. You wouldn't care about that, person in accounting or whatever and what they thought of you, because you had such a strong level and sense of yourself and who you are. So really, this inability of saying no points to a deeper issue of you not loving and respecting yourself enough. And comment below and let me know, do you want me to make a video on that? Because I can definitely make a video and teach you how to cultivate a strong level of self-love and self-respect so that you can start saying no to other people and start saying yes to yourself. I learned about this rule, I forgot about from where it was, from some sort of like book or something somewhere on the internet. But essentially, the rule is that if it's not a hell yes, then it's a heck no. Simple. If someone is asking you to do something and there's a part of you that's just like, then it's a heck no. It's a heck no. A couple of other things that you can do, and I teach this to my patients, is that when someone asks you to do something, take a step back, and before you say yes, just say, let me check my schedule. Simple. Because a lot of us, we're just automatically trained to say yes, like we're a little puppy dog, like we're a little golden retriever, like yes. No, you are not a golden retriever. Take your energy back. Please have more respect for yourself than to be a golden retriever that just says yes to everything. Okay? So have a little bit of self-respect, and if saying no feels like too much, I know that can be very uncomfortable. Instead, just simply say, let me check my schedule. And then actually check your schedule. And if it doesn't fit, then just be like, I'm sorry, my schedule is really booked up. It's filled right now. Maybe we can reconnect on this in a couple of weeks. Simple. Write that down, memorize it, so that you can automatically say that instead of automatically saying yes. Like, saying yes can literally become like a habit. It's like just like a habit. And I'm only saying that from personal experience. I know in the past the amount of times that I've just like blurted out yes, and I'm just like, why did I say that? And then you just feel 100 times worse if you ever end up flopping on them or saying no later. If you ever feel bad or guilty for saying no or for saying that you can't do this, tune in to the intention behind you saying no. If your intention wasn't to hurt the other person, be mean to them, make them feel bad about themselves, then you have no reason to feel bad. You are simply putting yourself first, and it is okay for you to do that. Be mindful too of not overly scheduling yourself and you being the one to reach out and make all of these plans with people. Because on one end, we can be that person that just continuously says yes, and then we're just like, why did I say that? But then on the other hand, we can ourselves be the person who makes too many plans and then overbooks their schedule, and they're like, why did I do that? And why am I bringing this up is because I'm the queen. I am the queen of reaching out to my friends, making plans, and then internally being like, I overbooked myself and I made way too many plans. And why did I do that? So be careful of that as well. Okay, that is, again, it's taking away your time, your energy, your resources. And I just want you to start taking your goals, your dreams, your life more seriously. Like, please take it more freaking seriously and just stop saying yes to BS that you just don't want to do because you're so freaking afraid of what other people are going to say to you. Like, just stop. It's time to let that go. The last reason as to why you can't achieve your goals is because you have unrealistic expectations. You either believe it's going to be easier than it actually is, or you believe it's going to take less time than it actually does. Because the truth is that everything is harder than you think it's going to be, and everything is going to take longer than you think it's going to take. And Alex Hormozi, if you don't know him, he's really big in the personal development field, talks about this all the time. Get realistic about your expectations and about what it actually takes to be great. We are honestly just so impatient in life, and I don't think social media helps with that, especially when you hear all these freaking coaches talking about, in 3 months I made $1 million, and in, this week I did this or whatever, and it just makes it seem like everybody and everything is an overnight success when that is not the case at all. Like, literally no one is an overnight success. Maybe someone, made this business and it blew up in a month, but you don't see all the failures, all the difficulties, all the hardships they had to go through to then get to this place where they now have the skills to be able to build and scale a business to an extreme level within a short period of time. And so you need to truly get realistic and get patient. Like, seriously, go meditate every day for an hour if you need to do that in order to really build your patience. Impatience destroys goals and dreams more than failure itself. If you really think about it, you are guaranteed to meet your goal. You are. If you don't give up, if you persevere through every obstacle that comes up, if you get back up and try new ways and build a new plan when one plan isn't working, if you just keep trying over and over and over again, how can you not meet your goals? The only thing stopping you is the timeline that you are restricting yourself to and then making yourself feel bad about when you don't actually achieve it within that timeline. And for a lot of us, when we don't achieve it within that timeline or that level of speed that we want to, we just believe that we are a failure. We believe that we are inherently broken and incapable, when really you need to go take a big fat deep breath, calm the F down, and just be patient and continue to persevere. I don't care if you didn't lose the weight that you wanted to lose in 6 months or 8 months or 9 months or a year. Try something different. Talk to a different practitioner. Don't give up. So what if it takes you 3 years to get there? At least you will get there. And isn't that what you want at the end of the day anyways? So what if it's not happening as fast as you want it to happen? So freaking what? And if you want it to happen faster, go put in more effort then. Put in more effort. Because whatever effort you put in, that is the outcome that you will get. Ultimately, a big place where we really mess up is, instead of holding the internal belief that no matter what happens, I'm going to achieve my goal, a lot of us, we internally go back and forth between like, I can do this, I can't do this, oh my God, it's taking too long, oh my God, can I really do this? Oh my God, no, I can do this, yes, I got this. And so this constant back and forth actually prevents us from achieving our goals that much more. So as much as possible, you really want to limit that back and forth, make the decision that your goal is going to be achieved, that you are going to get there, uphold that internal belief, and nothing will stop you at the end of the day. Also, when you just take a step back and accept that things are going to take longer and be harder than you think they will, it won't take you by surprise. Then when the hard thing comes up or it's taking longer, you're just like, oh yeah, okay, you know what? I already expected this. I expected this to take longer and to be harder than I thought it was going to be, because everything always is. When you do it, when you actually go into the trenches of the work and do the effort, everything is always going to be harder and take longer than you thought it was going to. I was on Instagram the other day and I follow this influencer. Her name is Maya. Her Instagram handle is maya.mental.fitness. And I was just blown away by this post she made, and I think it just falls so perfectly in this reason as to why people don't achieve their goals, because she just proved otherwise. And so I think it's a great example to share with you. The reason that I found her is I was just doing research of other influencers in my niche of mental health and brain health, and she came up, and her whole thing is about teaching people how to visualize effectively so that they can achieve their goals. Love what she's about, and she hosts these in-person events. And so she actually made this post that 2 years ago, she actually pitched to Nike that they should have a position for mental fitness. Nike rejected her, and she was really upset and distraught by that. But she had this goal and vision that she wanted to teach some of the world's top athletes about how to build their mental fitness so that they can just improve their performance more. And, there's so much research studies on visualization and all that good stuff too, and how it literally improves people's performance. And so for 2 years, she would visualize herself being in this position of this mental fitness position at Nike. Forgot the exact name of it. So she would visualize herself being in this position. And lo and behold, 2 years later, she ended up convincing Nike to open up this position. And keep in mind, this wasn't a position that had ever existed at Nike. So this was something completely new that she was pitching to them. And 2 years later, she convinced them. And now she is at the headquarters of Nike in Amsterdam. And she is living out the dream that she had imagined for herself for the past 2 years. How mind-blowing. How mind blowing. And this dream for her took a lot longer than she thought it would. I'm sure there was so much hardship she underwent as she was trying to make this dream become a reality, but she just didn't give up. She didn't give up. She didn't give up on her dream. So let that be a source of inspiration to you that you too are capable of achieving anything that you set your mind to. So stop thinking that it's going to be so easy that you're just going to wake up one day and like you're going to achieve your goal. No, it has to be an everyday consistent effort, hard effort that you put in to yourself. So go build that plan. Start saying no to people. Like, please have some self respect and self love for yourself. Start saying no to people and things that just don't align with your goals, your values, and what's important to you, and go out there and crush it and go build the life of your dreams. And if you want support mastering your mind, because truly, you master your mind, you master the world. Use the link to book a free 30-minute discovery call with me and let's chat about what support for you looks like.